On this episode of O'Fallon Matters, witness local seniors learning a thing or two about tutoring, meet an O'Fallon resident who has a passion for community service, and see how O'Fallon's Environmental Services Department is using technology to streamline their operations. Next on O'Fallon Matters. Welcome to this episode of O'Fallon Matters. The City of O'Fallon recently received an outstanding honor from a national website publication. In fact, O'Fallon is now rated as one of the top places to own a home in the state of Missouri. Let's find out why.
Over the years, the City of O'Fallon has gone from a sleepy rural community to one of the largest cities in Missouri. O'Fallon has been named one of the best places to live by Money Magazine on 4 separate occasions. And now our great city has achieved another impressive honor.
The website nerdwallet.com, which is kind of a personal finance website, took a look at all the cities in Missouri and tried to find the cities that had the best percentage of people owning a home and also staying in their home, and looking at various factors. O'Fallon ranked number 5 in the state, which is a really good honor for us.
To come up with the home ownership rankings, NerdWallet compared 52 communities with a population of more than 15,000 residents. NerdWallet used information from U.S. Census data and information from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
They looked at everything from, the number of people that own a home, the number of people that stay at home, looked at, on the negative side, number of foreclosures, and O'Fallon ranked extremely high. And we think it's a great example of what this city is all about. It's a city that's really built on family, built on, setting a foundation here and growing your family together, and owning a home is a perfect example of that. So we're real honored with that.
The study found that the O'Fallon area has a home ownership rate of 82.9%, with a median monthly home ownership cost of $1,596. And this is the second time this year that NerdWallet has applauded O'Fallon.
Earlier in the year, they ranked us as the number 5 place to find a job in Missouri, which is really a great honor for the city. It shows the mix of job opportunities we have within the city, from very large companies like MasterCard and Citi to the small mom and pop restaurants and retail shops that we have. You can pretty much find a job in any kind of level, any level here in the city, and that's a great honor for us.
The City of O'Fallon continues to be a great place to work, live, and play.
The great thing about O'Fallon is that we have people that have decided to come here and make their roots here. And the great thing about it is they moved out here and they've stayed here. They've made their roots here. They've grown their family together. We have a fantastic school system with the various public schools and private schools that we have. We have great employment opportunities, and we have neighborhoods that people care about. Once people move there to O'Fallon, they take care of their home, they take care of their neighborhoods, and they take care of their neighbors, and that's what makes this a really special place.
Congratulations to the City of O'Fallon for being named one of the best cities for homeownership in Missouri.
Some O'Fallon seniors have found a fun and fulfilling way to spend their time, making a difference in the life of a student. OFallonTV's Brett Figgis has more.
Reading is one of the most important life skills a child can master. Good readers don't just understand individual sentences and paragraphs. Reading a book improves concentration, teaches readers about the world around them, and develops imagination and empathy. This is why mastering reading skills is vital for young learners. Children who fall behind in reading fall behind in every subject. Luckily, O'Fallon's educators have a valuable resource they can call upon to help their students. This is an OASIS tutor training class, and the men and women in this room are part of an ongoing partnership between OASIS and the Fort Zumwalt School District. Celebrating its 25th year in O'Fallon, the OASIS tutor program started at Hawthorne Elementary and can now be found in every Fort Zumwalt School District elementary school. It's a program that really works, and the students love learning with the tutors.
You hear the stories of the student that has their head down and won't hardly talk or make eye contact, but after a couple weeks the head comes up, and then it's when they go to that classroom to pick up the student for their session and they come running at them with a hug. They know that they've made a difference in that child's life.
As a teacher, I had students who were fortunate enough to have OASIS tutors, and I got to see that side of it. And then as an administrator, I see the wonderful things that our OASIS tutors provide to the students and vice versa.
When their training is complete, these tutors will engage students one-on-one, patiently building up their students' skills using games and activities. Students who participate in the OASIS program become what educators call good risk takers, raising their hands to answer questions and participating fully in classroom activities. OASIS tutors help students develop learning confidence, and this has a huge impact on their report cards and their life.
I always tell the tutors, you are another positive adult in these children's lives. And then secondly, having the time to read with them, having the time to be their cheerleader, their coach, you can do it, try that again, that kind of thing. It does make a difference. It accumulates as the year goes on. And those baby steps are small, but they come for those students.
And when you see that light in a child's eyes, that's why we do what we do. We want to help students. We want to make them happy to come to school and excited to come to school.
The OASIS tutor program can always use more tutors. If you're over the age of 50 and you'd like to share your love for reading with a child, this program would love your help. You can contact Glenda Hauser by phone at 314-609-5725 or by email at ghauser@charter.net. No teaching experience is necessary. OASIS tutors are mentors, building friendships with the students. If you love to read, you'd be a perfect OASIS tutor.
With over 40 years of civic duty, this O'Fallon resident truly represents what it means to be an American. Joe Meyer has a story of one of O'Fallon's most respected citizens.
If there is one O'Fallon resident who deserves a pat on the back, it would be Jeanette Keckner. This dedicated resident has given so much time to the community she loves. In fact, Jeanette is a magnificent neighbor, volunteer, and a true citizen. It all started 34 years ago at the O'Fallon Lumberyard. At the lumberyard, Jeanette's boss, Jeff Smith, encouraged her to give back to the community, and the rest is history.
He always told me, he said, you know, you need to get out and do things. And he encouraged me. And I thought, that's great. You know, how you have a boss that tells you, you know, leave work, go do stuff. And it was wonderful. And that allowed me to get involved in different organizations.
Jeanette is a member of O'Fallon's Advisory Green Council, the Knights of Columbus Ladies Auxiliary, St. Charles Rotary, and was a past member of St. Charles County Planning and Zoning.
The biggest thing that I can contribute, all of that, whether it's been an employment position, a volunteer position, or just attending church, you know, with a group of people, was meeting people, getting to find out the needs of the community. And, you know, like I said, there's always a need and there's always something you can do to help someone.
O'Fallon has definitely changed since Jeanette settled here in the late 60s. But regardless of the growth, there is still that small town feeling within the city.
I just couldn't think of living anywhere else, actually. And it's nice, it's friendly. We were on the side where we could welcome people in. It's a great place to raise your children because it still has that small community feel.
Over the years, Jeanette has been the president of the O'Fallon Community Foundation. During her time as president, the Healed Home was restored, and now the dream of rebuilding Zumwalt's Fort is close to reality.
It's a small group, but we feel that we're pretty powerful to do what we're doing. And you know, we're not physically out there doing it, but it's just seeing it transpire. We're happy.
One organization that is close to Jeanette's heart is the St. Charles County Boys and Girls Club. In fact, she served on the board of directors for several years until another opportunity came her way.
In '98, the lumberyard closed, and there was a position open there, and they asked me if I'd consider it, which was a lot of what I was already doing anyway as a board member. And I've been there working full-time since, 2002, and love it. Absolutely love it. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Jeanette gives so much back to her community. You have to wonder what drives her to be such a steward of O'Fallon and its surrounding communities.
If there's anything that drives me to it, it's just, that I feel like I want to do it, and there's a cause. And I will say, my husband is wonderful in helping me. I might take on, I'm going to do this job, and he ends up being the biggest part of it. I just can't imagine not. My parents did it, and I just can't imagine not doing it.
In the end, it's residents like Jeanette Keckner who help make O'Fallon one of the best places to live in the country.
It's time for a break. When we come back, we'll find out how you can protect yourself from becoming a victim of a phone scam. Later, we'll catch up with O'Fallon's Environmental Services crew and find out how they are utilizing new technology in regards to municipal hauling. You're watching O'Fallon Matters. Welcome back to O'Fallon Matters. Cyber criminals target millions of computer systems each year, from Fortune 500 companies, small businesses, as well as home users. You can greatly reduce your risk of attack by following a few simple tips.
The internet has revolutionized modern life, creating an ecosystem where commerce and a world of information is just a mouse click away. Computers are used in nearly every workplace and occupation. However, using the internet can open you up to risks like scams and identity fraud. That's why we sat down with Brian Bazell, Information Technology Manager at the City of O'Fallon, to find out some tips to help stay safe.
Hi, I'm Brian Bazell. I'm the Manager of Information Technology for the City of O'Fallon, and I'm here today to talk to you about how to make your web presence and your web surfing more enjoyable and safer. So one of the things I want to talk to you about today is creating strong passwords and using those passwords online. You want to make sure you choose and create a strong password that is not simply a word out of the dictionary, but something that has many characters, probably more than 10, and special characters, numbers, upper and lower case. There are several programs that you can use to create these passwords. Password Manager, a 1Password, a KeyPass. All of those programs will select a password for you of a certain character length, and once you get that password, you want to make sure that you don't use those same username and passwords on all of your websites, your social media, your banks, your forums. Make sure those are all different. If you're using all the same, once somebody has one username and password, then they have access to all of your web presence. The next thing I'd like to talk about is staying safe online. One of the first things you want to make sure you do is when you're typing in a website address, make sure you type it correctly. You certainly don't want to mistype something like ebay.com and mistype it as eebay.com and go to a fraudulent website. You also want to make sure the lock icon is in the URL address bar. That means it's encrypted. So when you're inputting personal information such as credit card numbers, social security numbers, anything like that, you want to make sure that lock is there. If it's not, don't input that type of information. So the last thing I'd like to talk about is why users don't update their software, but you probably should. So a lot of times users don't update it because they see something pop up on their screen to download it. They don't know what it does for them. They're afraid to click on anything, and they just don't understand what that update might do. A good rule of thumb is probably if you open a program, let's say your browser, whether it's Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Google Chrome, and when you open it and it prompts you for an update, it's probably okay to do that as a rule of thumb. If you're browsing to a website and all of a sudden you get a pop-up that says, hey, your antivirus is out of date, you need to update it now, click here, that's probably a bad one and one you want to avoid. It's kind of a catch-22. You don't want to click on updates just because it nags you all the time. But at the same time, there are certain updates you should be doing, like operating system and browser updates. If you're running a Windows system, set your Microsoft Windows operating system to automatically download updates. That way you don't have to worry about it. It'll download them, install them, reboot your system, and you're good to go from there.
If you follow these tips, you're well on your way to a safer internet experience. Remember, use your common sense and be aware of potential tricks and scams. Be safe online and you'll protect your computer, your identity, and your personal information.
O'Fallon's Environmental Services Division recently created an innovative application that helps keep their operations efficient. Joe Meyer has their story.
A new ultra-efficient technology has arrived in the City of O'Fallon's Environmental Services Department. Several years ago, trash and recycling trucks were equipped with an iPad so truck operators could see customers' accounts and additional important information on their routes. Now, the department has added a new iPad tracking app for the purpose of real-time data applications.
Recently, since we've added the GeoEvent processor and able to track the vehicles, we're able to actually see those vehicles move around in real time on the map. So we get locations from those iPads every 15 seconds, and we're able to move those dots around and show those locations on the map. And we're also able to take problems that the drivers enter into the system and process that and give it to the office staff.
Well, it really does make things more efficient because what you have is customer service monitors the screen. They can see everything that's going on. Something happens, we have a concern at a resident, they immediately can look at the screen and know who's closest in the vicinity. Rather than calling 15 people to find out where they might be, they can immediately know if someone's 2 blocks or 2 miles from there. They can send them right over to correct the situation.
The iPad tracking app has been in place for a while now, and so far, the results have been positive.
The beauty of the system is we're able to customize it from the ground up. So we can develop it as we need it. We just put the components in that we want, so we don't have to go back and try and find somebody to develop those things for us. So as far as benefiting everyone, they've been real happy with it, and we're able to customize that as we go along in-house without having to go out and try and buy more programming skills.
What's amazing about the iPad tracking app is that most of the application was built in-house, which saves O'Fallon thousands of dollars. Plus, the Environmental Services Department is on the cutting edge of technology.
We're the only ones really doing this as far as getting iPads in environmental services vehicles. There's other people trying to get iPads out there and get them into their daily workflows, and they're kind of looking to us to, for some guidance on how to get that done.
Not only does this application benefit the Environmental Services Department, but it also benefits residents who use O'Fallon trash and recycling services.
The biggest benefit to the resident on this system is the fact that the immediate response that we can give to them. Somebody calls in and has a question, we immediately know what's going on because everything's right there on the screen for the customer service people.
If you would like more information on O'Fallon's iPad tracking application, please go to www.o'fallon.mo.us or you can call 636-272-0477 to reach customer service for all trash and recycling questions.
Every year, thousands of people lose money to telephone scams, from a few dollars to their life savings. And our detectives don't want you to be part of that statistic.
Phone scams are a growing problem across the United States, costing consumers over $3 billion annually. Everyone is a potential target. Fraud isn't limited by race, gender, age, or education level. That's why we sat down with O'Fallon detective Scott Pierce to learn how you can stay safe.
Hello, my name is Scott Pierce. I'm a detective with the O'Fallon Police Department, and I'm here to help you guys stay safe from some of the common frauds that we have experienced, such as telephone scams like the past due utility scam. In that scam, people will call pretending to be a utility company, water company, gas company, electric company, and tell you that your bill is overdue and that you need to go out and buy a pre-purchased gift card and give them the number so they can withdraw the money from the card, and you are basically out however much money they get you to put on the card. So if someone does call you from the utility company, just remember that they cannot demand payment immediately over the phone. Call the insurance or the utility company on your own separately and verify this. You won't know it's a scam until they tell you to go buy the prepaid Green Dot or Visa card. If they tell you that you have to pay right now and you need a prepaid gift card, it's a scam, and your best bet is to just hang up the phone. Another common scam that we see is when someone will call you and tell you you've won the lottery from somewhere overseas, from Europe, Jamaica. The biggest thing to remember with this is if you've never entered or played the lottery in Europe or Jamaica, or you've never been to those countries, you didn't win. They do it the same way. They ask for account numbers, credit card numbers. Once you start hearing that, hang it up, call the police department. If you have any questions about what to do to make sure you haven't been victimized, we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you'll have. One of the other common scams that we see is people will call and act as if they're a family member that's either been arrested for some kind of criminal offense in another state, or they'll act like they need medical expenses. The big thing with this that we most commonly see is a family member, a grandson, or someone being arrested for a traffic accident, and they need $2,000 to be bonded out. And they'll want you to do the same thing as some of the other scams. Preload money onto a gift card or wire money through Western Union to somebody else's name. If you get a phone call with someone, don't give them any information. Roll with the conversation, and as soon as they say they need money, hang up the phone, call that particular family member and just verify that they're not in any trouble, and that will keep you from being victimized this way. And remember, once you give them the numbers and send the money's gone. If you follow these tips, this will keep you from falling victim of these scams. We here at the department don't want our residents to be victimized, to fall into these types of traps. If you have any questions from any phone calls that you get that seem unusual, give us a call. We're here 24 hours a day. We'd be more than willing to come out and answer any questions and do whatever we can to help you out, to keep you from falling victim to this and to be safe in the future.
Remember, scammers will say anything to cheat people out of their money. Some may seem friendly and even have some of your personal details. But if they're pressuring you into giving up personal information, like your credit card or social security number, it's likely a scam. Don't become a phone scam statistic. Stay alert and keep your personal details safe.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you have a good story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@OFallon.mo.us. Please remember to give back to your community because O'Fallon matters to all of us.